welcome back. We're in the office today and tomorrow. Yay! So I have my makeup bag here so I can start doing my makeup. I've already been here. Excuse me. I've already been here for an hour. No, about an hour. Child, I don't even know. I've been here for about an hour. Just been sitting in my office. It took me a good like 20 minutes to get my shoes on. Let me show you my shoes. Let me show you my shoes. Can you see? There they go. Can you see? Wait, no, I should go this way. Can you see them? Should have worn a sports bra for that. It took me like 20 minutes to get my shoes on because I have nails, and also because women's shoes are not made practically. They're not made for practicality. I'm sorry, they're just not. Now this is the only moisturizer I have with me. It is the Laneige water sleeping mask. Okay. So remember I said that I was going to go to like dinner and drinks with some of my old colleagues who I am friends with. So I did go. Pause for you to clap. I did go. Everyone's proud. I almost didn't. Because, you know, when you plan something and you have like all intent to go when you're planning it, but then when the day comes, you're like, I kind of don't want to go. So we were gonna meet at like around 5. Everyone was finishing their day around like 4, and around 2 o'clock I was like, I was this close to texting people, being like, I'm not coming. But I went, and I'm so glad I did. One of the folks is a friend of mine, and one is someone, like, we all have worked at the same place together before. And one of them was like my work husband, and I haven't seen him in a while, and it was just so good. I'm so glad I went. I got there. What am I doing? What's happening? Okay, I'm going to use this NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop concealer for primer. What's happening? Feel free to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Okay, so I get there, and first of all, I always have to factor in time for me to get lost, because chances are 9 times out of 10, 9.78 times out of 10, I'm gonna get lost, okay? So, especially if we're going somewhere new, even if we're not going somewhere new, there's still a chance I'm gonna get lost. So I factor in that time, but I still got there at a decent time. Like, I got there, maybe I was the second one to get there, and as I pulled up, my one friend, she was putting money into the meter. So I was like, oh, perfect. I'm like right on time. I'm coming at the same time as other people. So that's good. Now, the first problem was that, you know how now with meters and stuff, you can use an app to pay. So I do that. I do that often for DC. I just have the Park mobile app or whatever it's called, right? But this place, of course, first of all, I would have missed it completely if I hadn't seen my friend, because I'm just terrible with directions. Like, it is just not a strength of mine. Never call me and ask me for directions, because I will get you lost, and then we won't be friends anymore. So the place was just like so unassuming from the side we were coming in at. So I was like, where is this restaurant? But anyway, so the parking meter, it wasn't using the mobile app that I typically use. it was another one. So first I had to download the app. Then I had to enter all of my information. Got to enter in my car information. Got to like set it up to the wallet and all this stuff, okay? And then finally, it's about 10 minutes that's gone by. Okay, I'm standing in some heels. I'm not here for it. I'm not here for it because I'm ready to either leave and just call it a day, or I'm just gonna have to get a ticket. Like, those are the options I'm thinking of. So you have to put in like the space number, and we're putting in the number, the only number we see big and bold on the meter, right? Because my friend is also doing this, and it keeps saying wrong number, whatever, whatever. And then we look and see that there's some tape over the side of the meter. We pull the tape back and there's another number. See, this is how they get you. This is how they get you. Conspiracy theory. They want you to not see that number that's under the tape so that you park and you don't pay and you come back out and you have a ticket on your car. So we put in that number. It still don't work. So I was like, listen, girl, I'm gonna go ahead and go inside and have me a drink because I'm not fooling with these meters. It's not working. And so my friend was still trying. I'm like, I'm going inside. It's like, maybe I'll come outside and there's a ticket, but I tried. So we go inside. We sit down at the bar. We're like some of the first people there. You know, it's one of those restaurants that opens in the evening. And the bartender is already looking like, who did it what for and don't do it no more, like just not having it, not wanting to be at work that day. And I was like, how are you? You know, because I'm super chatty. And she was like, I'm hanging in there. I was like, okay, can I have a pink flamingo? Child, that drink was so good. Let me tell you, it was so good. I don't even know what was in it, but it tasted like juice. And you know, those are the ones that get you. Those are the ones that get you. The ones that don't taste like there's alcohol in there. But those are the ones. All right. So today I brought with me the Natasha Denona Ayana palette. So I'm going to do something like super neutral. This is a very neutral palette. We'll kind of see what I come up with. I'm definitely going to use this shade here, like 100%. Let's just start and see what happens. What was I saying? So, okay, I got pink flamingo. At this point, one of our other friends is there. So it's 3 of us there. We're waiting for the 4th person. So the 3 of us all get a pink flamingo. Start drinking and talking and everything. And we first talk about that Karen that I told you about. That's real shady and be talking about me behind my back. So we first start talking about that person because everybody has a problem with her. Everybody. I'm not even kidding. I'm not being dramatic, even though I typically am dramatic. Everybody has a problem with her. And we all ready to just tell her something about herself, right? I'm like, let me go first. Because one thing, like, it's already bad enough that she was talking about me behind my back, but I could kind of deal with that, okay? But what she did was she spoke to my friend, one of my friends that was there, spoke to her in such a demeaning way because this friend has, like a master's degree and the Karen has a PhD. I don't know how the hell she got it. But anyway, she speaks to my friend as if she's like lower than the Karen. And that's the first reason I want to fight her. Because that's wrong. You don't do that. That's disgusting. I don't like when people treat people a certain way based on education. Like, that's not cute, okay? It's not cute. Just because you got a PhD. I have a PhD. Now what? So, she just gets me heated. So, you know, the alcohol is fueling the heat. So finally, our other friend gets there because the 3 of us were at the bar. And we go ahead and sit down. I am using this Sonia G crease brush. This is from like the little travel collection. And I'm going into that deepest shade. So our final friend gets there and we move to a table because we had been sitting at the bar and we're just catching up. And one of the people still works at the place we all used to work. Three of us don't work there anymore. Um, and so they were sharing stories about what's going on, and it just like confirmed why the rest of us don't work there anymore. It's just not, it's a toxic environment. So we are just ordering drinks. We're ordering these pink flamingos. Like, child, when I tell you, we were there for about 4 hours. It was like 4 hours and 13 drinks later. Like, I'm kidding you not. We were having ourselves a good old time. And I ended with a glass of rosé. Um, One friend had a glass of wine. The other friend had some mixed drink that had just about every type of alcohol known to man in it. Um, but it was like really good, and I'm really glad that I went. Now, two of the people work at a university. And so, it's that spring break time for a lot of folks. And so they don't have to go to work the next morning. But me and my other friend, we're like, well, we don't work at universities. We don't get no spring break. We got to go to work the next morning. By now, it's like 8:45. Me and the friend who aren't on spring break, we're the oldest ones in the little group. We're like yawning. I'm like, I have to be in bed in like an hour and 15 minutes. Like, I can't live this young people life where y'all be out past 9. So we're all wrapping up, and I drive home. And usually I can park like right in front of my house, but I'm getting home later than usual. So everybody's taking all the spots right in front of my house. So I just have to park just a couple houses down. And I look, because I left the blinds open, and I look, and Rosé is sitting there. She's sitting there like a mad mama. Like, you see what time it is coming up in this house? Late? That's exactly the look she was giving me, just sitting there looking out the window. Oh my God. Rosé was looking at me like, if you're going to be coming home this late, you need to call me. Like, I felt like I was a child coming in after curfew. So she just meowing at me, yelling at me, and all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, hey, Rosé. So I'm trying to get myself ready to go to bed because I know I've got to get up extra early in the morning to drive to DC to go to my office, right? And this is one of the reasons I almost canceled. I'm going to go into this shade here. One of the reasons I almost canceled is like I knew that I needed to get enough rest to like help me Jesus through the drive in the morning to my office. So I went to bed a little later than I wanted to. Then woke up this morning, and usually I try to think of what I'm gonna wear the next morning. I try to get an idea, and if possible, I just like lay that outfit out, right? So it's ready for me in the morning. I can just get myself together, throw on my clothes, and get out the door. Today I found out that all of my pants don't like me anymore. They're like, too much ass. We're not here for it. We're not gonna zip up. So I go into like in anxiety rage, and I throw away all my pants. I throw all the pants out, okay? Actually, I put them in a bag to donate. That's what I did. So then I'm like, well, what am I gonna wear? And you know how I like a good wrap dress, right? So I pull one of the many wrap dresses I have out of my closet. Here it is. And I had to ask Siri what the temperature was going to be. It's supposed to be in like the 60s today, but you never know. So this is like a very light fabric, but it has a sleeve just in case it's a little chilly, So The thing is with this wrap dress, it's one of those wrap dresses. Like there are some dresses that are already like one side is kind of already wrapped, right? But not this one. This one is almost just like a big piece of fabric, and you have to like figure out the wrapping. And there's a chance that when I walk, I'm giving people a nice view of all my goodies. There's a chance. So I need my work wife to tell me if she can see my stuff when I'm walking by. And there's a bit more boobage going on today. And I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you, okay? I don't know what to tell you. They're there. I try to keep them off of display as much as I can, but it's not possible. It's not my truth, okay? So there's a bit more boobage going on today. Don't judge me. Judge me if you want. Okay, what am I doing? I'm gonna put a little bit more of this here. So I get to work, I'm walking across the street and I'm thinking I'm looking super cute. And I'm like, why are people looking at me all funny? And then I realize it's because I still had my little head wrap on, right? I still had this on. So just like stunning. Head wrap, like legs showing, boobs out, just giving it to everybody, even though I'm not meaning to. So I get to my office and realize I have this on still. But I will say my hair is slicked down, okay? It is slicked. It's not going nowhere. It's not going nowhere. But I get to my office and I attempt to like finish getting ready. So I try to put on my shoes. Did I show you the shoes? Did I show you the shoes already? Let me show you the shoes. Wait, go back. There we go. Okay. Did I show you those? I don't know. I tried to put on the shoes. It took me like 15, 20 minutes. And I had to do all kinds of contortions and like back bends. And you would have thought I was in a yoga class, like trying to get these shoes on. So I text message all my sweet mates and I'm like, hey, is anybody here yet? Because I was going to ask one of them for help putting my shoes on. Is that inappropriate? I don't know. Because what do you want me to do? Do you want me to walk barefoot? Because what I usually do is I have on like some sneakers or tennis shoes or something, and then I change into the heels when I get to work. So it's either I keep on these like house shoes, or I get some help putting on the heels. And that's where I start to get mad at the fashion industry. That's where I start to get mad at them. I'm going to go ahead in with this shade here. Because for clothes that are deemed like for women, more feminine, whatever. Because I would say that tends to be my look. Like I like dresses, I like flowy tops, I love heels, all that good stuff, right? That's just who I am. Take it or leave it. But why is it that all of the clothes that are deemed like more feminine, whatever the hell that even means, why is it that you need like 2-3 people to help you get dressed? Like, you know how on IKEA's tags they have like 2 people, like letting you know it takes 2 people to set this thing up? They need to put that on dresses and shoes. They need to let us know how many people is it gonna take to help you get this on. Because the way zippers are set up, like you have to be a contortionist to be able to put these clothes on. And I felt like I had to do some like PhD level math calculations to figure out how to tie this wrap dress. And I'm still potentially showing at least half of my body. Like, why? And then the shoes. Why is it so hard to put the shoes on? Why is it so hard? It's already hard enough to walk in them. But now, I have to ask somebody to help me put the shoes on. Y'all, I don't understand why they be doing that. Make things easier to navigate. It should not be like I should not have to put on a sports bra because I'm hopping up and down trying to figure out how to put on this wrap dress. Like I should not be breaking a sweat. I shouldn't. I shouldn't be breaking a sweat trying to get dressed. I don't understand. I made a similar suggestion in my jazzercise class. I was like, I think it would be great if y'all went ahead and categorized the classes in terms of the strength of sports bra you're going to need to perform the dances in this class. Because sometimes they have us popping and bopping and pop locking and jumping up and down. And I'm like, listen, y'all didn't say we were supposed to wear the extra strength sports bra today. I can't just be bouncing up and down like that, okay? And you know what else gets me? I'm gonna go in with this shade, I think, and maybe a bit more of this shade. But you know what else gets me is when we're doing like stuff on the floor, like ab work, and they're like chin off the chest. Let me tell you something. If I'm laying down, my chin and my chest are one. I don't know if you have that experience, but they meet and they come together and they become one, okay? There's no chin off the chest. Chin will always be on chest. If you have me laying down on the floor. So don't try to correct my posture or whatever because that's not the problem. The size of the chest is the problem, okay? So when you say chin off the chest, it's not gonna happen. So what I'm gonna need you to do is realize that and like give me some modifications, okay? What can I do instead because my chin gonna be on my chest? Do you have some exercises where it's supposed to be chin on chest? Give me those exercises. Y'all, I'm just like, being a human is hard. Okay, remember this little NYX Ultimate Edit thing? I want to use one of the shades in here. Maybe one of these, like, brown shades. Either one of these. Ciao. I have complaints today, okay? What was I talking about? Like, stuff just needs to be a little bit easier. And help me understand. I don't know if some of you are back in the office or not. Y'all, how did we commute like this every day of the week? How did we do it? I've been asking myself that, and my mom was like, well, you were younger. I'm like, Mommy, it was 3 years ago, girl. Like, that I was commuting like this every single day. I'm like, no wonder I was falling out all over the place and not well. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I read this article about super commuters. I forget what number of hours you need to have as a commute to be a super commuter. I think I'm close. But these are people who like live in totally different states and not always states that are close to one another. Like DC, Maryland, Virginia, like lots of people work in one and live in the other. But I read something about someone who lives in like Florida, or was it Texas? Lives somewhere in a more southern state and has their chiropractic practice in California. So a couple days in the week, they will fly to California and have like all of their patients, and then they'll fly back home. And it actually ends up being cheaper, like living by doing that rather than living in California. So more and more people are doing stuff like that. I even have clients who might live somewhere and then they come into DC or vice versa for like 1 day or 2 days out the month or a couple days during the week. And I'm like this feels We can't maintain this. How did we do it before? I really question the level of sanity that I had commuting to DC every day, every single day, fighting with this traffic. How? How did I do it? How did I do it? It's like it's not, you can't maintain that. It's no. Okay, so we have a real like neutral look going on. I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my face. Let me show you what I'm gonna use. I'm going to use my Fenty Pro Matte Foundation and maybe also use my Makeup Forever Powder Foundation. This is in the shade 450 and this is in 4N68. And I'm also going to use either my Fenty concealer in the shade 430 or I think I have that little NARS mini concealer in here somewhere. Or not. Okay, so I'll use the Fenty. I don't know where that concealer is. So let me do all of that and then I'll be back to wrap everything up. Here is the finished look. Put everything together. I now have someone waiting in the waiting room for me, so I got to go. Be sure to like the video and please subscribe to the channel. Hopefully some of this was helpful. I also hope you're continuing to take care of yourself. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you next time.